So this is that time all of Japan fell for an insane meme diet. I believe it. I believe it. Let's go.
Japan can be gullible, and I mean really, really gullible. Like, if you go on TV and just say something, millions of people will listen to you, even if it makes no sense at all. Like, you can just tell people that they'll lose weight by eating a banana every morning, and the next day...
Like, it's not just Japan, right? Like, a lot of TV watcher, you know, people will say the internet is, like, duping people so much, but TV has always been kind of the same.
Hey, bananas will be sold out in every supermarket, and you'll sell 400,000 copies of your book, Morning Banana Diet. Seriously, would you trust a guy who eats a banana like this?
No. I understand you want to seem fancy, but that's what I call wasting your time. Like, bananas are like a fruit literally made to not be a pain to eat, and yet you're making it a pain to eat. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. That is not how we eat banana. We eat it like normal people, like monkeys.
Well, I eat bananas with my hands, so I must have been a monkey in my past life.
I ate it.
And the craziest thing is, they've taken the word dieto and redefined it to mean any pursuit of weight loss. And I mean any. For example, while you're eating your morning banana, make sure that you're wearing your diet slippers.
Yeah, but obviously, they're trying to make money. It's bullshit like that.
Once you're done that, you can go work out on your styly.
Okay. At least you're doing something, so you might lose weight.
They'll do anything to avoid clean eating and exercise. They've got a karaoke diet that's common enough for most machines to support it.
Okay.
They've even got a massage diet, so you literally don't have to do anything to lose weight. And they've been falling for this nonsense for generations. Japan has this ancient life hack where you aggressively rub your body with a dry towel until it gets irritated and turns red. This is supposed to be healthy.
Isn't that kind of what they do in chiropractor videos sometimes? Like they rub someone's skin so much that all the dead skin falls off, and then their skin is super red, but they seem to like it. So isn't it kind of like that?
It's called Kanpu Masatsu, and it was part of their education system until relatively recently. Like, Japanese boomers had to do this in school. Honestly, it probably does keep you warm because you're flailing around and making your skin all inflamed. And no wonder schools don't teach this anymore, though I bet the boomers are grumbling. Your skin all inflamed. And no wonder school
claims strengthens the nervous system, boosts immunity, reality, no scientific support, risk of skin damage, worsen eczema. I figured, yeah. Enfield Shredder, nope. I didn't know there was one. Hello, Yandre. Taught in school from 1938 to 2020. Removed for health reason. It still lasted until 2020, though.
Schools don't teach this anymore, though I bet the boomers are grumbling. Kids these days don't even know how to rub themselves down with a towel. Okay, so why am I telling you how gullible Japanese people are? Well, I'm not the first one to notice it. There are businesses that exploit this. Like, have you ever heard of Dr. Stretch? It's exactly what you'd imagine. A business where you pay a monthly fee to lay down and have a stretching expert, aka some guy they just hired off the street last week, move your body around for you. It's kind of like a massage, but, worse? Now, don't get me wrong, I love stretching. I'm pro stretch, but I wouldn't pay some business that falsely claims to be a doctor. Like, where's your...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if it's a massage, I guess it's fine, but no, they're literally just doing the stretching movement for you. But then the point of stretching is to then, like, do exercise or something. So then, if you don't do that, you're just stretching for nothing. Might as well stretch something else.
MD, Mr. Dr. Stretch. And Dr. Stretch is expensive. They give you your first 15-minute stretch for free to get you in the door, but then they'll try to sell you a really expensive membership that includes tons of random fees.
I love this doctor!
And they're known for doing anything to get people to sign up. There's a reason if you Google Dr. Stretch, it auto-completes the word religion.
Oh my god.
But of all the businesses that prey on people's gullibility and peer pressure, there was one that did it the best.
Small face exercise.
Hakutsu Araru Daijiten, or Excavation, an Encyclopedia of Facts, is a show that began airing in 1996 and was immensely popular.
If you tell me it's
Everyone and
facts,
their
I
mom
believe
would
it.
tune in to get the latest in health science. You know, like how cholesterol is caused by these fellas playing ping pong in your arteries.
Okay, but
And why
That's a
strain
fun
yourself
visual.
by going for a walk when you could hire someone to tickle you instead? I mean, according to this show, they're equally intense exercises. But whatever, they're a science program. I'm sure they have like studies and stuff backing this up. And look, Japan can be tough if you're fat. People will not hold back on making fun of you for your body, and there's a
Chill.
lot of pressure to be skinny. So yeah, it made sense why everyone loved this show and why it was such a big hit. It gave you useful diet info backed up by studies, experts, and their own experiments that the show funded through its massive budget. They were doing
1 million per
science.
episode.
ミトコンドリアエンジンとも言うべきところがここ
And the best part was, a lot of their diets were just things Japanese people already love to eat. Like, how convenient! They had an episode
Okay.
on miso soup, oyakodon. They even had an agar diet, which is like traditional Japanese seaweed jelly. But for episode 519, they had
I mean, in a way, it's probably not wrong, right? Like, you can keep eating the same thing, just eat less of it. That's frankly like that simple.
something groundbreaking. A new superfood based on research from America. The new
Burger.
revelation about this secret food. Eat it and lose weight. This
Like
is
that
the
one guy, wasn't there like in America there was one guy that was eating like McDonald's every single day, and he was like an ambassador or something. And he was trying to claim it's healthy, and he wasn't actually gaining weight. One of those people that just doesn't gain weight, and he still died of an heart attack.
most weight I've ever lost on a diet. My view on dieting has completely changed. Participants who ate this food appeared 5 years younger. And that secret new food was
From America.
natto, something
Oh.
Japanese people already eat. Now that is lucky. Natto is a fermented bean, often eaten with rice, but it turns out it's super healthy.
All I
And
know
through
is that
some
it's supposed to be, like,
serious science, a microbiology
smelly.
expert from Temple University, Arthur Schwartz, told the show
Okay.
that the isoflavins in natto will juice up your levels of the hormone DHEA, unlocking the secret to big weight loss with just a daily serving. This was massive. Now, Japanese people could lose weight without any lifestyle changes. Within 12 hours, natto had sold out from every supermarket in Japan. The demand had tripled overnight, and in some places was up tenfold. Supermarkets had to put up flyers like, "We are so sorry, but we are out of natto because of a certain TV show." And while normally these shortages clear up within days, this one lasted for weeks and was like the biggest news story in the country. Manufacturers responding to this demand started making as much natto as possible.
Right.
But
right.
hang on, something doesn't add up here. I mean, if natto will make you lose weight, would anyone in Japan have weight problems in the first place? 12 days into the nationwide natto shortages, a tabloid magazine, Shukan Asahi, announced that they had done an investigation into the science behind the show, and they had some concerns. They were still researching, but they were going to publish their article in a week. Everyone was like, "Ooh, I wonder what happened," and then they went to bed. The next day, Kansai TV, the company that made the show, called an emergency press conference. They announced that they had made some mistakes, and the natto diet was embellished, to say the least. Like in these experiments that they conducted, they tested the subject's blood levels against the control group. And that might have been a little lie. They actually didn't test any blood. In fact, they didn't even take any blood. One may go as far as to say all of the data was fake. And those photos comparing people pre and post natto diet, those weren't actually subjects. Those were just random people.
Okay.
The Japanese public was furious. I mean, this show was supposed to be...
It's not that surprising. I mean, you know, all this kind of scam, like weight loss stuff that people have been doing. Like sometimes people would genuinely believe what they're doing is actually helping when it's just stupid. Like, but I guess a lot of like shows or even like, you know, online weight diet thing is like just scam at this point, right? Like it's very well known how simple it is to lose weight. Like just eat way less than you're supposed to for your weight and size and height and all that. And on top of it, if you do exercise, you're gonna lose even more. It's not rocket science. I mean, we know how to lose weight, but I guess people, again, like it's kind of hard to do, right? I know. So people just try to find like another solution. And I know now we have stuff like Ozempic, right? Which I think is working for some people. So pretty like in the next, you know, 30 to 50 years, like, you know, you can just take a pill and you don't even have to worry about being fat anymore, right? But yeah, I feel like we still probably have a decade or two of like this bullshit influencers trying to, say like, buy my $1,000 course to lose weight. I have found a revolutionary way to do it. It's like, no, they haven't. They're just gonna sell you some bullshit trying to make money. Classic.
Science education, not science fiction. In response, Kansai TV canceled their next episode about preventing cancer and aired a 5-minute apology instead.
多くの捏造やデータの改ざんが行われていたことが明らかになりました。誠に申し訳ございませんでした。
Sorry.
That's the end of it though, right? I mean, it can't get any worse than that, can it? Well, remember when Professor Schwartz said that DHEA causes weight loss? Yeah, he never said that.
Okay.
They just made it up and dubbed it over him like he's an anime from the 90s.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite.
And it turns out that wasn't the only time they had done it. They'd been fake dubbing over people for years. Funny. In their 2006 Miso Soup episode, they spoke to Dr. Kim from a US university who told them that fermenting soybeans makes for better animal feed. But they dubbed over him saying, miso can make you thin.
Okay, but like, you'd think the people interviewed would like notice and say something, or like sue them for like changing what they're saying.
These guys did not give a fuck. They once did an episode where an American professor showed a new revolutionary 3-minute exercise program that was shaking the country and burns 3 times the fat, and that with it you could achieve targeted fat loss, like to your stomach, thighs, or arms. But as you could guess, he was actually saying the exact opposite. I've never seen a study demonstrating this. Targeted fat loss is impossible. In 1998, they asked a researcher to run an experiment on mice to see if lettuce makes them sleepy. When the production crew arrived and the mice were not, in fact, sleepy, they just ignored that and found footage of sleeping mice to pretend their experiment was successful. They even brought in a different scientist to explain why the mice had fallen asleep.
Yeah, I guess it's like, it's easier to sell people dreams and hope than, tell them that no, it just doesn't work. You have to do it the hard way and just exercise plus eat less and eat healthier, right? And like, people don't want to hear that. We know how it works, but you don't want to hear it because it is hard. So might as well tell you there's like a miracle way to do it. Yeah. Like obviously they're scaring people, but again, that's kind of like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel like the more the year passes, the more I hear people getting scammed, and the less I feel sympathetic toward people getting scammed. It's like the recent like people who like bought into the crypto coin of Octwagirl, right? Like, they deserve it. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, we know it's bullshit. We know how easy it is to lose weight. Well, how easy it is. We know it's hard, but we know how to do it. Like, it's not rocket science. So, if you keep trying to like get yourself scammed by finding some miracle cure, it's kind of your fault, right? I don't know.
Yeah, there was no coming back from this. The show was immediately canceled, and the CEO of Kansai TV had to step down in shame. After that, the government stepped in and gave Kansai TV their highest possible warning for violating broadcast law. Oh yeah, and tons of overproduced natto went to rot once consumers realized it wasn't actually a superfood. This scandal was a massive blow to Kansai TV. But how could they even prevent something like this from happening? Well, maybe by not outsourcing the production of the show to a company that had done literally the exact same thing 2 years earlier. I'm not making this up. They had already gotten a show canceled and received a warning from the government. I mean, this show's issues were so blatant, even before the natto diet, that someone had already written an entire book calling them out. And starting in 2005, they had to add this on-screen disclaimer to every episode after they got caught lying about their agar diet. And even before that, they were given a warning by the Ministry of Health after their bittern diet gave countless viewers diarrhea. So why did nobody stop them? Well, you'd think the scientists would speak out, and some of them did, but plenty were complicit, like the mouse guy, Tajima. This guy's been on more than 500 TV shows. It's like his side hustle is being a TV expert.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's probably not dissimilar to like the alcohol or smoke industry, right? Like it's all collusion, right? On one side, you've got the, the one, like the companies making like the alcohol, for example. So they're going to pay some scientists to be on their side and say that, it's fine. this level of limit is fine. You can drink it. It's all good. Then they're gonna pay like the TV station to like advertise it, and it's all kind of like everybody's kind of like on the payroll of the big company to just try to say you something, right? I mean, that's surprising.
And when they asked him about the mouse thing, of course it wasn't his fault. I just say what the program wants me to.
Okay.
If I didn't do it, they'd get someone worse. Buddy, you are the worst
You are the
guy.
worst.
And everyone else involved cared even less than the scientists. I mean, the studio loved the show. They were getting paid and outsourcing all the hard work.
That's
the
the
station
point, yeah.
was getting great ratings from it. And of course, the sponsor would never complain. Wait, I haven't even mentioned the sponsor. You know, this entire show was funded by one company?
Cow
The
Corporation.
massive $1 million per episode budget, all courtesy of the Cow Corporation. And this show wasn't just brought to you by Cow, it was Cow. Every single commercial break was reserved for exclusively Cow products, like Cow floor cleaner, Cow dish soap, Cow shampoo. They
Okay.
never ran out of Cow products to sell you. Like,
Never out of the
bro,
bomb.
I've said Cow so many times, I'm gonna start mooing. Of course,
Wow.
once the bad press started, Cow immediately jumped ship and pulled all their advertising. And that's it. Nothing bad ever happened to them because, of course, it never
course,
does.
of
The
course.
multi-billion-dollar Cow Corporation still exists to this day. And while Cow got off scot-free, the industry eventually took action and set up a committee to investigate ethical violations and prevent similar incidents from happening again in the future. So, has Japan finally learned its lesson about gullibility? Well,
Nah.
maybe. Take phone scams, for example. Just like in the West, scammers primarily target old people, which has led to Japan coming up with some clever countermeasures. Scammers will tell you that they need like Google Play gift cards to pay for their virus cleanup service or whatever. So stores have started displaying fake virus cleanup payment cards, and if a
Oh.
customer brings one up, the employee knows exactly what to do. So far, these have proven to be extremely effective, and I think we should definitely copy them. But
That's
with the
pretty cool,
rise of
actually.
AI and fake videos like
I was gonna say, like, recently I saw in the UK there's like a grandma AI that's supposed to basically just mess with the scammers. That's the new thing.
this one of the Prime Minister that went viral, Japan will need to continue being vigilant, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Alright.
I asked for viewer questions, and you guys gave me some pretty good ones. I answered like 30 of them in Ask Me Anything. Links in the description. It's on Patreon, but it's free. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to pay or anything. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
That's good. I was gonna say, like, he made a point of like saying, you know, like Japanese really gullible and all that, but again, it's the world, right? I'm sure you go to every country and there's been maybe less these days, you know, like a lot of like TV regulation from the government has been like harsher, I'm sure. So you can maybe scam people like less directly. For example, I was talking about like tobacco and alcohol, and you know, like there's a lot more warnings about them if they are even allowed to be ads on TV. Like I think in France, I haven't watched TV in a very long time. I'm gonna say alcohol is probably still in ads, but smokes, I'm pretty sure it's not anymore, right? Like in France, like in some country, I think Australia do it too, maybe. UK, you know, like they really try to kill people smoking. So you know, when I was younger, like I remember, like when I was sent to the store to buy smokes for like my mom, for example, like you know, one pack of 20 was like $5, I think. And now these days, I think it's like 15 to 20. It's crazy the difference. There's also the stuff with like images of like, you know, destroyed lungs and, you know, cancer patient and stuff like that on the smokes. So they really like made an effort of like, yeah, stopping people from smoking, right? But I think, you know, alcohol is always one of those things where like, to me, it's as bad as smoking, if not worse, right? And yet, yeah, I think it's still probably advertised quite well on TV. But again, you know, I think like you go to any country, and especially like 20, 30 years ago, you know, more of a Wild West of the TV, like there's gonna be so much bullshit being advertised on TV. I mean, it's not so surprising, not one bit. And yeah, like dieting is one of the classic of, you know, we know how to do it. It's not rocket science. It's just very hard to do, right? Like the will, that's what's hard about it, having the will to do it. I will do, you know, I've gone through it 2 times. And again, like the hard thing is, you know, you're hungry, but you have to tell yourself, no, I've eaten like the, you know, the goal that I need if I really want to lose weight. And I also need to do my exercise while being hungry. it's hard to do, right? So I understand why everybody's always looking for like, you know, an exit. But again, yeah, like it's almost like, to me, it's the best way I can put it is like it takes 2 seconds to Google the obvious way to lose weight. And if you fall for any scam, to me, it's not really that you fall for them. It's just that you, like, it's almost like on purpose. Is how I look at it. Huh? Like, you just want a magic cure. And again, we might be getting that with Ozempic and stuff like that. Huh? I mean, I still think it has a road to go, right? Huh? But we might be getting a cure, and that would be great. That would be great, obviously. Yeah. What I can say. Good video, good video. Maybe less crazy than some of the usual topic he covers, Japanalysis, but that's a blast. Very interesting. Alright. Alright.